We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the February 15, 2018 meeting of the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. My name is Kevin Cook. I currently serve as the chair. Joining me today, we have Commissioner Shelley Bueller. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Bob Archer. Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope everybody had a good Valentine's Day and good to be back. Madam Clerk, could we start with our first item?
First item's item 2, unfinished business, update on Kansas Expo Center master plan renovations.
As we had discussed, we will be addressing the Expo Center renovations and improvements on the third Thursdays of the month, or as more frequently as we may need as we go through the process. So this is our first third Thursday update.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Krause, Shawnee County Councilor. This project is a team effort. We're going to do a team effort on the presentation this morning. Just brief update on the legal side. I've been in discussions with Chuck Smith over revising and amending the existing contract so that we can account for Phase B of the project. That contract will be on Monday's agenda, so we'll discuss that more on Monday. Well, we've been working on that on the legal side, and I'll turn it over to Betty at this point to talk about where we're at with financing.
Great.
Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. You approved that we proceed with the bonding of the amount that we will need. So we, our bond counsel, Bob Perry, is working on the documents. I think he pretty much has all the documents prepared. We've been working on getting everything ready, basically. Our 30-day period, waiting period, as you know, the Public Building Commission has a 30-day waiting period for this financing. The waiting period will be up on March 1st, so we're trying to make sure that everything is ready at the end of that 30-day waiting period. We have our bond rating call scheduled, so we can go ahead and get that done too. Interest rates are creeping up a little bit. We're trying to watch them, you know, and so we want to get this moving as quickly as possible, as you know, and we are working towards that, but I believe all the documentation is all ready. We're getting our bond call done, so come March 1, we'll be ready to move just as quickly as we can on this.
Great. Good. Any questions for Betty? We'll look forward to March 1.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Zach Sneed and HTK Architects. I'm here today for the, as we talked, third Thursday update on the Expo Center project, and this will be a good opportunity. Today's update is more administrative, kind of where we're at in the process, but I'll share kind of what to expect for the March third Thursday and then the April third Thursday as we work through schematic design. Last time we were here, we talked about getting through that schematic design process, looking at testing some scenarios and looking at those, and getting through that in a 90-day window. And so that being said, we're well into that in terms of getting meetings prepared for that, so that that we'll come back in April then with kind of well, let me back up here. Currently, kind of where we're at, as Jim mentioned, contractually working on getting the contracts in line. We're working on, Chuck is working on putting together a RFQ for geotechnical services that'll kind of inform some of the site selection processes that we'll be looking at. We're also working with Kellen to schedule Spectra staff stakeholder meetings to get in and review the master plan, what the directives in the master plan were, and then to evaluate some of these scenarios that we discussed in the master plan presentation, so that through schematic design we determine the optimal implementation of the master plan. So that March the third Thursday, so next third Thursday update will come to you with with really looking at probably several scenarios that we've addressed, or that we'll study with the stakeholders and with Kellen's team, and bring that back to you, and allow that time for you guys to have some input, get feedback from yourselves as well on that, so that as we work towards then that 90-day look at schematic design, and coming back then in April with kind of a refined option, take those 3 options and narrow them down to one option, which becomes kind of the preferred option. In the process of that, testing that, going back to our market analysis team, CS&L, and testing the marketability, or the market impacts of that selected scenario, and coming back then in April with a kind of a summary of what we found during the schematic design process, and looking at kind of how that lays out from a site plan look, and what those parts and pieces that will be in it are. Let's see. And then so also, in addition, kind of paralleling that, we've got the mechanical engineers started on looking at both the AC, the exhibition hall air conditioning, and then the boiler for the whole Expo Center complex. And those are really kind of parallel initiatives to the schematic design process that we're going through. But those are kind of in preparation for, so that we can have the air conditioner on. The intent is to have the air conditioning online for the summer season, and then the boiler online for the winter season. That now's the time to be planning for those. As we look at, we've had some questions about what's that going to do to scheduling of events, and the other conversations that we're having with Kellen is what events does he have planned, and what are our windows for construction, so that we minimize any impact to the events that they're having at the Expo Center. The intent, the way we're approaching this, is that we'll essentially have both systems up in place, and that when Kellen says we've got this window for a shutdown, a week or so for a shutdown, that we'll be able to switch over the systems, and kind of that they're paralleled until we make that switch over, again to minimize any downtime that might be necessary to get the new systems online.
Would it be unrealistic to think that possibly as early as this summer, we might start seeing some of these plans being implemented into the Expo Center and starting to see some construction, or is that too premature?
I think the stuff that you would probably start to see, it may be more back of house in terms of HVAC systems, maybe some lighting upgrades. I don't think you'll see I don't think driving by necessarily you'll see big construction activities, but you'll see, but internally there will be construction starting this summer.
Okay. Any questions for her? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Questions, commissioners? All right. Well, then I guess we will come back then in March for our third Thursday update, and it sounds like we're going to have a lot more to discuss and look at in March and April as we move forward, and actually getting the schematics, and looking forward to that. Also looking at March 1 for our financing, and then the contract for Phase 2 with HDK on Monday's agenda. Madam Clerk, our next item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There are 3 items on the consent agenda. Are there any questions?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer to approve the consent agenda, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Yes, the vouchers are totaling $801,272.43. The largest amount is under pooled cash. Most of that is Capers, $295,607.60. Then Blue Cross and Blue Shield is with Health Insurance Administration, $175,550.25 is that total amount. And then the ever-present holding accounts with the state of Kansas, $64,197.39. So I do not have any questions. I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Bueller for approval, seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval of the correction orders.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook for approval, seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item B, Public Works Solid Waste. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of the following contracts with Osage Rural Water District Number 8 for adjustment of utilities for the following projects with funding from the Special Bridge Fund. A, Contract C-58-2018 for the 29th Street over unnamed tributary to Mission Creek Culvert Replacement Project in an estimated expenditure of $21,407.45, not to exceed $24,000. B, Contract C-59-2018 with the for the Southwest 89th Street over unnamed tributaries to the Wakarusa Culvert Replacement Project with the estimated cost not to exceed $3,000. C, Contract C-60-2018 for the Southwest Crawford Road over unnamed tributaries to the middle branch of the Wakarusa River Culvert Replacement Project with an estimated cost not to exceed $3,000. D, Contract C-61-2018 for the Southwest Crawford Road over unnamed tributaries to Wakarusa Culvert Replacement Project with an estimated cost not to exceed $3,000. And E, Contract C-62-2018 for the Southwest Douglas Road over unnamed tributaries to Wakarusa Culvert Replacement Project with an estimated cost not to exceed $3,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Black with Public Works and Solid Waste. These are Public Works items, and we have a series of larger culvert replacement projects going on that are being designed in each of these locations. Osage Rural Water District Number 8 has some of their water lines in the vicinity, outside of road right-of-way, and anytime we require a utility to be moved that is outside of the road right-of-way, we are then responsible for those costs. So these contracts here relate to all those, and those are the estimated costs to have the utilities, or their water lines, removed and relocated for each of those projects. This is standard procedure for these types of projects, so if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Commissioners, I might note that in preparation of the agenda for this morning, there was a lot of discussion about, with our administrative assistant, whether we would have these all placed under the consent items or just have the items B through E on the consent and then item A for discussion, but given its dollar amount, so we put all on for discussion, just as a kind of a background formality. I don't have any questions. Commissioners, do you have any questions regarding these contracts?
I do not.
I'll move to approve the contract.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer for approval, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tom. Our next item.
Item C, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider approval of the Lake Shawnee restrictions and closings for the 2018 community events.
Good morning, Commissioner. Sean Osborne, Parks and Recreation. As you know, this is something we bring to you every year because it takes BCC approval to put restrictions and closings on the lake. The sheet has a list of events that we have, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have on the restrictions and closings that we have.
Is there anything outside of the ordinary from what we see every year on this?
No, it's pretty straightforward. The only time we'd have something different if somebody came to us wanting a different event at the lake, and then we'd have to look at that and move forward, so.
Commissioners, any questions regarding this? I'll move approval then of the request, or the Lake Shawnee restrictions and closings for 2018.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item C2, consider awarding the bid to Slide Pros for refurbishing a spray features and slide at Blaisdell Family Aquatic Center in Gage Park in an amount of $13,020 and authorization and execution of contract C63-2018 for same, payable from the Capital Maintenance 3R Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Elker, Shawnee Parks and Rec, Aquatic Supervisor. It's been a while, so glad to see you guys again. This is Blaisdell Pool's 18 years old. It's starting to show some wear and tear. This is just general maintenance stuff that we're trying to get upgraded to. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
I understand that we did go out for bid, and then this is the return of that
Yes.
bid and awarding it to the Slide Pros. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it is that we're going to be looking at, what we're replacing, and what it's going to look like in the end?
Yes. The bucket feature at Blaisdell last year sprung a leak on one of the joints. They will be taking that down due to the thickness of the concrete. We didn't go new, they're going to rebuild. When they rebuild it, they're going to redesign it. We're going to have a couple wall curtains versus 5 buckets, and then they're going to do, my staff has kind of adopted the Ice Age theme, so they're going to paint it to like an ice sculpture. And then the slides, it's starting, this family slide is starting to crack, the gel coat's starting to fade, peel. They're going to go in and redo that as well.
Any questions regarding this?
That's good. I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you very much, David. Our next item.
Item D, Health Agency, number 1, consider out-of-state travel for one Health Department Finance staff member to attend the National Government Finance Officers Association Conference in St. Louis at a cost of $1,141, and the possibility of a $475 scholarship that could result in a cost of $666 if awarded.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. We are requesting to send our finance officer to this conference. It's nice to have a national conference close enough to drive to. I know she plans on attending some sessions on things like financial information to the public, how to engage the community, items like that. And I'm sure she's hoping to learn how to communicate more easily with the director about the budget. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
As per the policy, when she returns, she'll be preparing a report in which we would then see as to what she learned, and is that
Yes, sir.
typically our standard?
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to that report, too. So.
I know that also, one of the things that we've been implementing as people go to trainings, as they come back, being able to kind of put on some trainings of their own in-house, they kind of help spread that
Yes.
out. And would we anticipate that as well?
We could certainly do that, and for instance, several of our staff went with Angela to a training on supervision a couple weeks ago in Salina, and I do plan to have those folks share that information with all our managers. So yes, we are making that effort to get the message out to everyone. And honestly, we can all use work on understanding budgeting. That's probably an area when we go to school to be public health professionals, they don't cover very well. So it'll be good for all of us.
I think Betty would agree with that. Any questions regarding this item?
No, I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item D2, consider approval of resolution number 2018-8, authorizing the destruction of 39 boxes of medical records, WIC records, billing records, child care licensing records, and communicable disease investigation reports with destruction dates of December 31st, 2012 through January 19, 2018.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. This is a typical request for us to destroy records as we are allowed by law. The dates are a little funny. We go back to 2012. We are still going through some boxes to see what's in them. We have some boxes that were sent to storage and were not marked for destruction. There were a lot. And so over the years, we're going through those boxes and sorting that out. So you might see some funny dates like that as we get that caught up. My hope is we get that done this year. And so we started that, I helped 5 years ago with sorting out boxes. There were minors mixed in with adults. You can't do that because their destruction dates are different. So it's been a long project, and I'm hoping we can tie it up this year. So these boxes have been checked. They're ready to go to be destroyed according to the Kansas Historical Society guidelines. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions regarding this item?
I'll move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item E, corrections, number 1, consider approval of request to fill one account clerk 2 position for the Juvenile Detention Center with a salary, including benefits, of $41,784.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. After more than 37 years of dedicated service to the Department of Corrections and Juvenile Corrections, Penny Ard has decided to retire. Penny's a very private person. I would have had to kidnap her to bring her over here today, and in light of things that I've read, I don't know that that would have been a good deal. But Penny has served in many capacities, the majority of it at the youth center, from clerical office, accounting, commissary, you name it, she's done it. She's been a mentor to all of us, and as somebody who has personally supervised clerical staff, especially in a security-based operation, a lot of times you forget how precious and how important the job they do in Department of Corrections, especially for us. Penny has done an outstanding job. It's mixed emotions. I'm very happy for her on a well-deserved retirement. But you don't just get to replace somebody that's been there almost well over 37 years. I can fill the position, but I can't replace that. And so Penny and I have had a good talk. She said it's time. I try to talk her out of it, but she knows it's time for her. And this is not a new position. This is a position we've already had, we've budgeted for. I've met with Angela to make sure that, Lewis, that she'll see this on the agenda, and there is, so that's about it. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
You know, I think 4 decades, or almost 4 decades of service to the public is something that should be recognized.
Yeah.
And that is something that's admirable. We don't see a lot of that anymore. People that actually stick with the job and do it so well as Penny has done over the years. And so just I pass on to Penny, and if she's watching, just our appreciation for everything that she's done for the county and her service over this almost
Absolutely.
4 decades.
Thank you.
Commissioners, questions or comments regarding, this is going to be a hard position to fill, so.
It is. It is. This is a person that will work mainly in the, doing all the juvenile stuff, but also is, a big part of it is a lot of the hiring and the applications and us going to a new system with that, and so she's very busy, and this is a very busy position. Yes.
I'll move to approve the request.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item F, Information Technology. Number 1, consider approval of request for 7 employees, 2 county clerk employees, 2 information technology employees, 2 human resource payroll employees, and 1 audit finance employee for out-of-state travel to attend the 2018 Superior Spark Community Summit week-long event at a cost of approximately $13,000.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat Oblander with the Information Technology Department. This is the annual Spark Conference, which in the past has been called the SunGuard Users Group Association Conference, or the SUGA Conference. Its name has been changed this year to the Superior Spark Summit. We tried diligently to figure out what SPARK stood for. It's just the word spark. We don't know exactly where they came up with that, but I know the Commission does not like to hear acronyms without definitions, but we couldn't find one for that. So it is the annual Spark Conference or Summit. We would like to send 7 county employees to this summit. It is in Orlando, Florida this year, from 4 different departments. This conference provides some very useful information to people that work quite a bit with the One Solution program that we use in many departments throughout the county. This program supports accounts payable, general ledger, human resource functions, employee payroll for all departments across the county, and is extremely critical to the functioning of the county. So it's important that staff know how to use it. They know what the modules all do. They also need information about what new modules are coming up in the future, which ones should we be looking at for purchase. A lot of different things go into this One Solution product. The conference itself has multiple tracks that can provide detailed training for a lot of different functions for different departments. Provides detailed training on specific modules, presentations on new and upcoming features, and most importantly, there are a lot of networking opportunities for county staff to connect with other counties that are using the same products and modules, and can collaborate back and forth and get a lot of information about what other people are doing and how they're implementing the same product. Get a lot of our questions answered that way. We also develop a lot of relationships with Superior staff specifically, which also helps us when problems occur or when we want changes or modifications made to the programs. As mentioned in the reading, the not-to-exceed cost that we think is appropriate is $13,000. And since this is something that's applicable to all of the departments across the county, we're asking that it be paid from the general fund out of general expenses. Additionally, attendees to the seminars or to the summit would also prepare trip reports on their return from the summit. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those.
Any questions regarding this item? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item G, Sheriff's Office, number 1, consider approval of request to fill 2 additional patrolman positions that are not included in the 2018 budget, but funding is available.
Good morning, Commission. Herman Jones, Shawnee County Sheriff there. What you have here is we're looking to basically trying to be proactive in what we're trying to do. We've got several vacancies. A lot of it is just beyond our control. We've had some retirements. We've had some military deployments. We've got some individuals out on medical leave, which means our numbers have really dwindled for what we can do, provide those services right there. These 2 positions that we're looking at, it's going to be that we pull from our budget. We had not planned for the budget when we originally started that, so we're just making some adjustments right there. That'll be with salaries and wages, it'll be $135,906 there. So again, it's coming out of our budgets. We just make some reallocations and those type of things right there. The other thing is, again, is just trying to be proactive in that. We're looking at, in the year of 1994, there was a big hire with deputies with the Sheriff's Office there. And now we've moved forward to that. We've come to the attrition of those individuals that are probably going to be retiring. So we're trying to get ahead of that, knowing that they probably will retire. We're trying to get some positions put in place because it's going to take about a year and a half to get an individual where they're actually viable. So this is just a move where we see that we can move forward with our budget and those type of things right there. Any questions?
When are the positions going to start being open? Are they open as soon as we say go?
As soon as we say go, yes, sir. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we're doing some testing today. As soon as I leave here, we're going out, and we've got some individuals that are coming in. Our numbers have increased. Seems like, as a matter of fact, yesterday we were at the job fair out at Washburn University. I was out there for a little bit, so talked to several prospective candidates and applicants and those type of things right there, along with many other law enforcement officers. I was kind of doing a survey, just a little small survey of how many people are coming into it. Our numbers are down, obviously, in law enforcement from what we've seen there, but the time I was there, we had individuals signing up to do the testing for tomorrow. So we've got at least, I think the numbers are like 25 or so, which is big improvement for what we've had in the past of doing those type of things. And we're doing some more proactive types of things of our trying to promote these positions and what have you there. So.
Other questions regarding this?
What are some of those things, Sheriff? I know it's very difficult to recruit for all law enforcement in the country. Now, what are some of the things that we're doing to be proactive in this area?
One item, obviously, is working with HR. Angela Lewis has been very proactive of getting that information out and working with that. But we've also contacted some of our placement vendors that are companies here locally, just trying to bounce off some ideas and maybe looking at some collaborations with them. Social media has been very big and very proactive right there. We got to reach our audience, and our audience are out there on social media. We've looked at the Indeed, where that's more we're paying for those services of placement, and we're finding that we can be more proactive of getting applicants and those type of things right there. And as well, I've talked to just about anyone that wears a uniform in our agency, that they're the best recruiter, and just be more active like that. I've run across a situation where I've been at a restaurant, and I've asked, just in asking someone, don't take anything for granted, just ask them, where do they see themselves in 10 years? I mean, there's nothing wrong with working in a restaurant, but some individuals are stepping into other things, they're going to college and those type of things, so we introduce ourselves. So you find a lot of individuals out there, not just in CJ programs, just out there. So we're really trying to work that crowd, if you will. So
Thank you, Sheriff.
You bet.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes
Thank
3
you.
to 0. You needed your word go, go.
Go, we're on it.
Our next item.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the commission on any items.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kellen Seitz, Inspector of Venue Management in the Kansas Expo Center. Just wanted to remind everybody that tonight is the start of the Arab Shrine Circus. Kicks off at 6:30. Here in about 30 minutes, we're going to have about 600 local elementary school children attending the circus school. So I'm going to hustle back and try to not get ran over by that when I get back in the building. So excited to have that start today. 6 performances running through Sunday afternoon. Also tomorrow is the start of the RV and outdoor show. So that will take place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday inside Exhibition Hall.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda Oaks from the Health Department. I just want to say we still have plenty of free flu vaccine. If you haven't gotten a vaccine, there is just no letting up in this flu season. I'm sure you've all seen the media. This is a very bad flu season. So the flu shot can help protect you at least from getting quite so ill, maybe being hospitalized. So I want to encourage everyone who hasn't gotten a flu shot. This is the lowest price of the season sale. They're free. So please come get one. 2115 Southwest 10th Street during regular clinic hours. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else this morning? Commissioner Archer, anything?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Miller,
I don't have anything, thank you.
We did publish the agenda for JADO that went out last night. Our JADO meeting was scheduled previously for the 14th, which is Valentine's Day and Lent. I hope you guys took advantage of that break. And then we will be meeting for JADO on the 28th. The agenda is out. One of the items that will be for discussion is the quality of place, which came up during the last JADO meeting. This is a new endeavor for JADO, and one that we need to think about very strongly, very carefully, about whether or not it fits within the parameters of economic development, and if it does fit within the parameters of economic development, what exactly quality of place means. So I'm hoping that we have good attendance from all of our partners with the city and the county to be there to have that discussion. Madam Clerk, our next item.
Item 6, Executive Session.
There is a need for an executive session for 20 minutes to discuss matters related to security measures with the Shawnee County Emergency Management Director, and that will be with the Emergency Management Director, and that is a motion made.
Second.
Can we add elected, not elected personnel discussion?
Yes, same with, are you fine with the same amount of time for 20 minutes?
Sure.
Okay. And then also adding non-elected personnel to the executive session. Motion made by Commissioner Cook, seconded by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. We are back from executive session. No action has been taken. We are adjourned. And the city manager slipped out.